Hey everyone, just doing a quick video today on my 2004 Mitsubishi Magna all-wheel drive VRX, just on what it's like to own a 20-year-old AUSDM Mitsubishi Magna. This car I've owned since 2017. We bought it from Sydney and drove it back to North Queensland because I specifically wanted an all-wheel drive, and as rare as they are these days, there wasn't any chance of getting one locally, so we did the trip down there to pick this one up. When I got it, it had 130,000 Ks on it, and it was in pretty much mint condition. The paint was perfect, but obviously 7 years of North Queensland sun has destroyed the paint, which, you know, for 20 years old, this paint only sort of started to get the cancer about 12 months ago. So it's done pretty good, I think, for, 20 years of age. So do a quick walk around. The car does have a lot of modifications. I've done a lot on it over the last 7 years, performance wise and cosmetic wise. You see I've got Lancer CJ VRX 18s fitted. I've got the Verada boot lid on the back, and Verada tail lights as well. Other than that, exterior wise, it looks mostly, stock. So starting with, the bad things, obviously the most obvious one is the paint. So, it's fairly worn on the bonnet, and also on the roof, and it's also starting to go up the top here, and slowly spreading down here. The back, when I had this boot lid fitted, I had it fully resprayed in the back, so the rear bumper was done, as well as I had a bit of damage down here, so they pretty much did this whole side, all up here and down. So that's why this side here, the paint looks really good. My plans are, I want to try and respray it myself at home. I have done a fair bit of spray painting, just with rattle cans, if you like. We did my wife's tray on her Triton a few months back. So I'm going to try to do the best I can just to do the bonnet and the roof and the areas where it's fading. I'm not going to do the whole car. Reason being, it's a 20-year-old car, and it is going to get to an age eventually where we're going to start seeing, water leaks or rust, in the body joins and things like that. And I'm actually looking to hopefully upgrade to a VF SS V8 hopefully next year. So I really only just want to do a home job, just mainly because I'm starting to get up the top here. I had some roof wrap that I peeled off and I scraped a bit low getting it off, so I've really got to fix this surface rust here. But I've got 2 or 3 meters of gloss black wrap that I'm going to put down. So I really just need to get it back to a nice finish so I can put the wrap on and it'll stick. So I'm not too worried about it being perfect. At the end of the day, the way I see it's got to be better than how it is at the moment. One of the things about I've learnt, with owning an older car like this is, on social media and YouTube and stuff, you see a lot of influencers and content creators with 90s JDM cars and older cars like this that are just in perfect mint condition, almost like they've never been out on the road. and it's easy to compare yourself or to compare your own car to theirs, and it, you know, it does make you feel like shit when your car's like this and it's a bit faded. But something that I've learned is, you know, like, to expect your car to be in perfect condition, you know, like that is just so unrealistic. Yeah, it's impossible. You know, like, you could spend 10 grand on this car, for example, and, you know, you'd find a stone chip, or, you know, you'd find some fault with it somewhere else. So I've honestly just learned to be comfortable in what I've got. And this is all cosmetic. Mechanically, this car is probably, you know, A1 mechanical grade, I guess you could say, because almost everything's been replaced over the last 7 years with either genuine or new parts, and it's all been done, you know, mostly by a mechanic. So, you know, mechanically, it's an amazing car to drive. It drives, you know, brand new almost. So I'm going to do a second video where I actually drive the car and all that sort of stuff, but today I've just been washing the car, so I just wanted to do a video after washing it. Yeah, going over some of the mods that I have done to this car. Like I said, we've got the CJ VRX 18s. I've got ceramic brake pads all around, on just standard rotors. They're not slotted or anything. I've got Petters lows in the front and Lovell super lows in the rear, on just Petters OEM shocks. I would like to put coilovers in it, but again, if I end up buying a V8, well, there's not really much point. So it rides really good. So beneath that, I've got polyurethane bushings all around. I had them done just last year. The rear upper and lower control arms, trailing arms, the front lower control arms, the ball joints, tie rod ends. I've got the heavy duty sway bar links. So everything in the suspension size is brand new. The ride quality is really good. I like the ride stiff. Yeah, I like being able to feel all the bumps in the road. So handling wise, it's amazing. It drives smooth, but it's sporty. You know, you can feel the bumps and stuff in the road. And then something I've just done recently is I got new tires, and I've been using Bridgestone Potenza RE003s for probably the last 8 years, sort of thing, on this car and other cars. And I just wanted to try something different. Being North Queensland, it's generally pretty warm, hot weather. Cold weather isn't a thing. We do obviously get pretty heavy rain, but I end up opting for the hand-cooked RS4s, which are a semi-slick tyre designed for track work, you know. But in saying that, they're more towards like an endurance racing tyre, if you like. So I'm hoping to get pretty good kilometres. If I get 15,000-20,000 Ks, I'm happy. But in saying that, they are very aggressive, but they're not as aggressive as some other semi-slick tyres on the market. The reviews I've seen said that they're pretty good for a daily driven vehicle. You can sort of see the tread pattern there. These made a massive difference to how the car drives. Handling wise, there's so much more response in the steering, and just how the car drives. And again, you feel the bumps a bit more, stiffer sidewall, so you do feel the bumps a bit more. But again, that's what I wanted, so that's what I like. I probably won't ever do any track work as such, but being North Queensland, we do have a lot of winding roads and ranges that are a lot of fun to drive on. And I do, when I go for a drive, I do give it to it, so they will get, worked, kind of a thing. But yeah, something a little bit different. We've got a full 2.5-inch catback exhaust, X-Force stainless steel MP02 muffler. You can see there. We've got a 200 cell stainless steel bullet type cat, and then just up onto the standard manifold. Inside, this is the interior. Again, you know, the center console there, I've painted that piano black. We've got a full Alpine Type R sound system, front and rear speakers, and sub in the boot. There's under the driver's seat, I've got a amp under there for the sub, and a Alpine monoblock amp for the speakers under the passenger seat. I've got the 380 steering wheel. You can see there now I've got, you know, about 219,000 Ks on here. We've got the full VRX leather seats. These weren't actually original in the car. This car originally had cloth trim, but I found a car that was being wrecked locally and bought the whole leather set, including the leather door cards, the chrome Verada handles and surrounds. So yeah, full leather interior. Very, very good. Yeah, so I'll show you the inside in a minute, but we'll go to the engine bay and I'll show you the bit that I'm probably most proud of, that made the biggest difference to this car. So about 2 years ago, I did the 380 6G75 swap. I did most of it myself besides the actual installation of the engine. So I bought a wrecked 380 locally, stripped the engine out, stripped it down to basically just the block and heads, and then rebuilt all the 74 engine gear onto it from there. In doing so, I pretty much did everything, you know, I replaced everything because I wanted to be able to put it in and not have any issues for years. So I replaced, you know, everything, all the seals, O-rings, you know, starter motor, alternator, you know, did everything all at the same time, all brand new, power steering pump, new steering rack. I did absolutely everything. So I did have a K&N pod filter in here for a while, but I ended up going back to the factory intake for obvious reasons, because I just had the pod filter in there honestly just for the noise. So painted the rocker covers red and the manifold inlet manifold black. It does use the 380 inlet manifold, so I had to have the intake throttle body modified to fit. I've done about 20,000 Ks on this engine with 0 issues. From factory, this car, being the all-wheel drive, does make a little bit less power than a front-wheel drive due to drivetrain loss. So from factory, this car would have had maybe around between 95 and 100 all-wheel kilowatts. I had the car on a dyno just to do a power run when I first got it done, and it made 127 all-wheel kilowatts. And 269 newton meters of torque as well. I'm not sure what the factory torque would have been, but I'm assuming it was considerably less, just like the kilowatts were. So it was a good, you know, probably 30 kilowatt increase just by going to the 6G75, and it really livened the car up. So you know, I've done some, you know, little street races, if you like, with other people when I go to car meets every now and then. You know, I think I had a go with a G6E a while back. You know, just a roll race, if you like, within speed limits, obviously. And you know, we took off, you know, from second gear, for example, and I just left him basically like he was standing still. So that I wouldn't have been able to do that with the factory engine. So I'm very happy with, you know, the 6G75 upgrade. Now, this being the Magna all-wheel drive, for those that don't know, the all-wheel drive system in these is actually derived from the Evo and Galant. So it uses, you know, similar or the same transfer case and rear diff almost. You got a 50-50 torque split, and you've got a limited slip viscous coupling LSD in the rear, if you like. So handling wise and grip wise, it's very good. It handles the road awesome. So yeah, so that's, I guess, most of the details on the car. You know, one of the biggest things that sucks about YouTube is, you know, every man and his dog has done a review on a Falcon or a Commodore. You know, they're just so overdone. And, you know, these were one of the most popular Australian made vehicles other than the Commodore and the Falcon and the Camry. But besides, you know, Motoring Box and a couple other channels, there's virtually no reviews on these, you know, that are done professionally, you know, from a big time YouTuber, if you like. So I really wanted to do a video just to, you know, actually put something out there so that if anyone was looking to buy one of these, you know, at least they got some idea of, you know, what to expect. Other than that, you know, that's pretty much most of the details on the car. You know, going in the back here, you can see I've got the V-Power amp under there, and then the mono block under there. All pretty sort of works really well. With the sound system, I really wanted a sound quality more than loudness. We'll just start the car up here, and you can have a listen again. When I do the second video, I'll do a proper exhaust video and, you know, take it for a drive and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, it's got a nice deep note. I'll give it a little rev, but I am at home, so I can't do anything too crazy. Yeah, so other than that, that's pretty much everything I wanted to cover today. It's a bit of an impromptu video. It's not scripted or anything. This is literally just me making shit up as I go, basically. So yeah, so I've got a few things to work on. You know, just the paint. I want to replace this door seal here when I can. I've got to hook up that wiper jet on that side because the little fitting broke. And also when I had this windscreen replaced recently, they broke the garnish that goes on here, so I got to fix that. And the electric antenna is starting to, you know, break around here, so just need to get a new one of those as well. I think you can buy the whole new antenna online on eBay sort of thing. Yeah, other than that, like I said, it's all cosmetic, but mechanically it's a beautiful car, drives good, it's reliable, it sounds great. I get a lot of comments from just random public saying how good the car sounds. It's pretty quick with the 6G75. I think I can do a 0 to 100 in about 7 seconds roughly, which is pretty good for a big heavy all-wheel drive vehicle. Yeah, other than that, that's everything for today. So on the next video, like I said, I'll do a driving video and do a proper exhaust video so you can hear it. The only part I did leave out was when I had the engine swap done, I did get it tuned, the ECU tuned, so it's tuned for 98. I got all the emissions stuff removed because I wasn't really worried about fuel economy or anything. I just wanted the most performance out of it could. So it's tuned for 98, it's tuned for the 75 with the manifold, and I do have a very mild crackle and pop tune on there, which sounds pretty amazing too, especially when the exhaust gets nice and hot. So yeah, well, thanks for tuning in, and I'll do another video when I can. Thanks, bye.